Thank you. Hello, everybody. Are you awake? Ladies and Java? Hey, 7 minutes. I've been a professor at Central Connecticut State for some time, and we always hosted the elevator pitch competition, where I get young people who believe they can start up a job to do their business plan. And I give them 7 minutes, as if Warren Buffett just walked in the elevator, and they talk like a bat out of hell. I won't do that. I'm going to give you a couple of things to think about and see if I can prompt some questions. But you're going to hear from some great Democratic candidates for governor. And the insiders will tell you why they think they need somebody with a lot of Hartford experience who's been up there for a long time to see if they can turn this state around. I'd like to make the case to you. I think what we need is somebody who's going to come in and offer a fresh look at how we're doing business in Hartford, a real challenge to the old ways of doing business. An outsider will give us the best chance to beat the Republicans in November. And I think you want somebody who knows something about creating jobs. So when those Republicans in November say, look, Connecticut has been flat as a pancake. Our economy is smaller than it was 10 years ago. We have fewer jobs than we had 30 years ago. I spent my life starting businesses and creating jobs, and I'm ready to take that task to them. And I know what it takes in this state to get everybody back to work and working hard. And I know something else. I know something about a fair economy. It's going to be a strong economy and a fair economy. I believe strongly in a $15 minimum wage. That just raises not just the minimum wage, it raises wages for everybody. It builds out our middle class. You know, I believe strongly in the right to organize. I believe that I want all the stakeholders at the table. And there's an old turn of phrase, if you're not at the table, you may be on the menu. And I'm not going to let that happen. And I'll tell you this, I'm a business guy. I'm going to go right at CBIA when it comes to paid family leave. I'm going to make the case to them, look, we have an aging workforce. We need everybody involved, whatever their background, whatever their place of origin. And we also know that more and more of our families are led by a single parent. More and more of our families are led by a single mom. That single mom is most likely to benefit from a $15 minimum wage. And that single mom cannot afford to keep working if she can't take care of somebody sick in their family. It's not the right thing to do. It's also the smart thing to do. Paid family leave will be a priority for mine. Just a couple of things that you want to think about. We are facing a severe budget crisis. And I want you to get the governors to think about specifically what we're going to do. Ask me about how we get a budget where we stop borrowing from the future, but we start investing in the future. A budget where we change the way we raise revenue so it's more suited to the 21st century, so we have a more reliable and predictable revenue stream. So we have a budget that not only invests in a 21st century transportation system, so that we are once again the gateway to New England, the gateway to the Middle Atlantic states. We use this as a great strategic advantage to help grow jobs here. And finally, I've spent much of the last 10 years teaching. I was a high school teacher at Harding High many years ago, part-time, and now at Central Connecticut State. And we need a community college system and an education system and a VOTEC system to make sure that each and every one of those thousands of good-paying jobs that are going begging right now go to a Connecticut person right here in the state of Connecticut. That's how we get this state going again. That's how we get this state growing again. Thank you. 3 minutes. I call on people if you have no questions. Yes.
Could you give an example of what you mean by investing in the future rather than borrowing against the future?
Sure. Jody Rell left office, and she borrowed $1 billion to paper over the deficit. At the same time, she raised taxes. And then she moved to Florida because she said the taxes were too high. We don't have a good budget. But what I think we ought to be doing is not papering over these short-term deficits. Bite the bullet, make the tough choices, get an honestly balanced budget, look at how we can raise revenues by expanding the base of the sales tax, looking at the income tax, and streamlining how we deliver services. So that going forward, we're investing in infrastructure, investing in transportation, investing in education. You know, it's killing me that Rhode Island, their community college is free. New York, it's free. And right now, Electric Boat and other of our major employers are going across the border to hire those people. I'm going to make sure they're hired right here in Connecticut. Yes?
Would you care to weigh in on the report from the recommendations from the Economic Growth and Fiscal Stability Commission?
Yeah, I think you guys know about it. I think they made a fundamental mistake early on. As I said before, when I referenced, you want all the stakeholders at the table. So I would have had labor there. I would have had social service workers there. I would have had people who are impacted by this budget every day. You want all those stakeholders so when you make your recommendations going forward, you have people weighing in. I think it was a bit of a mistake to have it so loaded towards white male CEOs. You know, they surprised us. You know, these same CEOs came out in favor of a $15 minimum wage. They came out in favor of electronic tolling. But they also, I don't think, quite understand the needs we have when it comes to our pensions and what that means to a 70-year-old teacher who was convinced to give up her Social Security 50 years ago. Our teachers don't even get Social Security. So let's be very careful when we talk about how we reform these pensions. Yes?
You proposed the raising minimum age to $15 an hour. Just to be a devil's advocate, why wouldn't that cause minimum wage employers to move their jobs out of state?
Well, first of all, our neighboring states are moving towards a $15 minimum wage. But these are mainly service jobs. These are folks who work in the hospital. These are folks that serve you meals. These are folks that, these businesses are going to stay here in the state of Connecticut. That restaurant or that hospital is not going to move. And these are ways that we can build these people up and allow them to be able to take care of their families. And you do it over a period of time, but it raises everybody up. I don't see that restaurant or that hospital moving, and these are certainly not jobs that are going to China. It's the smart thing to do and the right thing to do. 5 seconds, so rather than cut you off, I just want to say I appreciate you being here. Give my friends here a good listen to. We all want you to be so involved. I'm Ned Lamont, and I can use your support. Thank you.